Hey, this is Mike Matthews from musclelife.com, and in this video, I want to talk about a book that I really like, and that is The War of Art. I'm a pretty avid reader, and I often get asked for book recommendations, not just health and fitness things, but business and life and history and biography, all the type of books that I like to read and I kind of talk about either in podcasts or I have written about them on my website and so forth. So I thought this might make for a good video series where I just take one book and break down what I liked about it, some of the key takeaways, some of the things that I think you could benefit from. And so if you think it's a good idea, then please do let me know that you like the idea down in the comments below and encourage me to keep making them. So let's talk about The War of Art. I would hold up a copy and show it to you, but I read everything digitally these days. So instead, I'll just put an image of the cover up here on the screen. All right, so contrary to the title, it's really not just for artists. I think it's for anyone that wants to make a good life for themselves and their families. It's really an ode to persistence in industry, and some of its core messages are things that you've probably heard before, like, don't wander through life from pillar to post. Find something that matters to you and pursue it passionately. Don't whine about how much hard work it takes to succeed. Learn to love the work and despise failure and quitting instead. Don't let your feelings dictate your actions. What you want is rarely what you need, and you can create the right feelings by taking the right actions. Don't wait for inspiration. That's how amateurs stay amateurs. Do the work, grind it out, and eventually you will get inspired. Now, these bits of advice are all well and good, but in my opinion, what really makes this book stand out among the many other books that say many of the same things is it doesn't just tell us what we should be doing to succeed, which is pretty commonsensical really, but it goes deeper and it tries to get at why we find it so hard. Now, to that point, the biggest obstacle in our way, Pressfield says, is something that he calls resistance, which is really the central theme of the book. Now, he defines resistance as a mysterious force within us that works to sabotage our dreams and our abilities and prevents us from really kind of creating the things and the life that we really want. Pressfield points out that most of us have two lives. We have the life that we live, and then we have the unlived life within us. And resistance's sole mission is to ensure that we never realize that unlived life. It wants to make sure that we remain small, weak, and unhappy. So here's a list in no particular order of the type of activities that most commonly elicit resistance. 1, the pursuit of any calling in writing, painting, music, film, dance, or any creative art, however marginal or unconventional. 2, the launching of any entrepreneurial venture or enterprise for profit or otherwise. 3, any diet or health regimen. 4, any program of spiritual advancement. 5, any activity whose aim is tighter abdominals. 6, any course or program designed to overcome an unwholesome habit or addiction. 7, education of every kind. 8, any act of political, moral, or ethical courage, including the decision to change for the better some unworthy pattern of thought or conduct in ourselves. 9, the undertaking of any enterprise or endeavor whose aim is to help others. 10, anything that takes a commitment of the heart, such as getting married, having a child, or weathering a rough patch in a relationship. And 11, the taking of a principled stand in the face of adversity. So in other words, anything that rejects immediate gratification in favor of long-term growth, health, or integrity. That's what resistance targets the most, and it will tell us anything to keep us from doing any of those things. It'll feed us all kinds of enticing excuses and justifications and bargains. Things like, you're too tired right now, you can just do it later. You've been working hard enough, or maybe even been working too hard. Why not just start it next week? Does it really matter? Is it really that important? And on and on and on. Now, we've all been there, and I think Pressfield is right in that this alone is really one of the biggest barriers that we face in creating the type of life that we really want. If we can just buckle down and do the work every day without fail and be willing to stretch beyond our comfort zones and move ever forward into uncharted waters, we're already at least halfway there. It's kind of sad too, because when viewed through the lens of history, most of our lives are honestly just pathetically easy. At least here in the West. We don't have to hunt and kill or even tend to our fields and flocks for food. We don't have to worry about catching a flu and dying. We don't have barbarian hordes encroaching on our lands or really any natural predators even to worry about. I mean, our ancestors had to be tough motherfuckers just to survive, just to make it another day. I mean, today, what's our great struggle? Is it just to not be a fucking vegetable? I mean, really, all we have to do is not eat or drink ourselves to death and stop wasting our time on all kinds of mindless entertainment like social media and YouTube, TV shows, video games, and so forth, and instead just apply ourselves to something productive like learning a single marketable skill. You know, just one single thing that another person will find valuable enough to pay us for. So all we have to do is sit in our modern, comfortable, climate-controlled homes and study and practice and study and practice some more until we're good at something. And then all we have to do is continue that simple formula until we're really good at something, until we get so good that people just can't ignore us. If we can just do that, then success to one degree or another is inevitable. It just follows naturally. So I just think it's kind of a joke. I think the whole thing is just kind of funny, and we have so little to actually complain about, and we have so little actually in our way. We don't even have people that are trying to stop us. You know, most of us, in most of our circumstances, regardless of where we fall on the socioeconomic scale, most of the barriers are self-imposed. So this is why I agree with Pressfield that beating resistance, beating that part of us that's lazy and irresponsible and dishonest and self-destructive, and to use a trendy word right now, just all around deplorable, that is a huge part of creating a good life, maybe even the biggest part. And if any of that has resonated with you, then you need to pick up this book because you are going to like it. And if you do read it, or if you already have read it, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take. All right, well, that's it for this video. Again, let me know what you think. I was thinking to do a series of these. I'll pick maybe one book a week and talk about what I've gotten out of it and some of my thoughts about it, and then post it up and get your side. Let me know. Thanks, I'll see you in the next video.